They say every city has a street that doesn't exist on any map. It's not on Google, not on paper, not even remembered by the locals. But sometimes, when you're lost, you find yourself driving straight into it. A ghost street, a trap, a place that doesn't belong. And once you've turned in, you never really leave. Michael didn't know any of this. He was just a tired college student heading home after a late-night shift. His phone battery was nearly dead, and the GPS had been glitching for the past 15 minutes, rerouting him down alleys and side roads he'd never seen before. The streets were empty, the kind of silence that made even the hum of his old car sound too loud. Finally, with a final buzz, the screen went black. He sighed, looking up at the darkened road ahead. That's when he noticed it, a narrow cobblestone street branching off from the main road. He froze. He'd driven this neighborhood countless times. That street had never been there before. But tonight it waited, cutting across the fog like an open vein. He should have ignored it. He should have turned back. But he didn't. Something about the way the street seemed to pull at him. He turned the wheel and drove in. Immediately, the road behind him seemed to vanish. In his rearview mirror, there was no highway, no buildings, just a wall of black fog, thick and endless. His headlights lit the way forward, revealing rows of houses leaning too close together, their wooden frames bent like they were bowing in. Each one looked abandoned, windows boarded, paint peeling in long strips. Yet somehow he couldn't shake the feeling that they were watching him. He slowed down, trying to make sense of it. Then he saw it, a faint flicker of light in the top window of a crooked house. A single candle flame, glowing weakly through the glass. He told himself it was nothing. Someone must live there. But then, clear as if it were whispered right into his ear, he heard his name. Michael. He jolted, whipping around, but the car was empty. The doors locked. Windows rolled up. His hands trembled on the wheel. He pressed the gas harder, desperate to find a way out. Suddenly, his dead phone flickered back to life on the passenger seat. But instead of the usual map, 3 words glowed across the screen in stark white text: "Turn back now." His stomach dropped. He looked over his shoulder, ready to reverse. But the road was gone. Where his headlights should have cut through the exit, there was only fog, dense, endless like a curtain that would never lift. Michael had no choice but to keep moving forward. The houses grew stranger the deeper he went. Some had doors chained shut. Others had windows cracked open just enough to see dark shapes shifting inside. And then he noticed them. Figures. At first, just shadows at the corner of his vision. But soon, they were unmistakable. Pale, human shapes standing on the edges of the road. They didn't move. They didn't blink. They only stood there, silent, facing him. Their faces were blurred, smudged like ash rubbed across paper. And as his car rolled past, every single head turned in unison to follow him. His chest tightened. His fingers dug into the steering wheel. Then one of the figures stepped forward, dragging something sharp across the cobblestone. The sound screeched like metal on bone. Michael slammed his foot down on the accelerator, the car roaring forward. At last, up ahead, something different appeared. The street narrowed into a single destination. At the end stood one house, taller than the others, darker, and yet every one of its windows glowed faintly with golden light. Michael's breath caught. It felt like the house was waiting for him. As his car slowed, the front door creaked open. A sliver of light spilled across the cobblestones. That's when his phone spoke again. But it wasn't the robotic GPS voice. It was his own voice, repeating over and over, "Come inside. Come inside. Come inside." His blood ran cold. He dropped the phone, heart hammering. He wanted to turn back, but there was no road anymore. No exit. The fog behind him was absolute. The only path was forward. The car idled. His breath fogged the windshield. The glowing doorway seemed to pulse, almost breathing. And then he made the worst decision of his life. He opened the door and stepped out. The moment his shoes hit the cobblestone, the world shifted. The air was colder, heavier, pressing into his lungs. And then he realized the figures. The pale, faceless figures he had passed were closer now, circling him. Their whispers tangled together, hissing his name. Michael turned toward the house. The doorway gaped wider, the golden glow spilling like honey, luring him in. His car engine behind him sputtered, then died. The whispers grew louder. The figures closed in, and all the while, his phone kept repeating in his own voice, "Come inside." His legs moved without his permission. Step by step, he climbed the warped wooden porch. The figures froze at the edge of the light, whispering, waiting. Michael reached the threshold. The moment he crossed it, the door slammed shut behind him. Outside, the whispers stopped. The car engine went silent. The street was still, empty. And when the sun rose the next morning, there was no cobblestone street. No crooked houses, no golden-lit doorway, no Michael, because the street isn't on any map. It never was. And if you ever find yourself standing before it, lost and desperate, with the fog curling at your heels, remember this: don't turn in. Don't stop the car. And whatever you do, don't go inside.